So I'm actually gonna play some classical guitar for us all today. I realized I'm coming up on my last few opportunities to get some feedback before my 1 year of classical guitar recital. But before I do that, I wanna clarify something, because after last week's video, I've been thinking about it, and I gotta clear the air. If you don't know, like a year ago, I started taking learning classical guitar a bit more seriously, and we started to have some discourse about what it means to be self-taught. Last week, I read some of the comments from those original videos and just discussed what it means to be self-taught and whether I think I'm self-taught or not. And after thinking about it over the last few days, well, I think it's clear. I am not self-taught, at least when it comes to guitar, for the most part. I took guitar lessons when I was a kid. I've been taking infrequent guitar lessons over the last several years. I think when it comes to like singing, vocals, writing lyrics, those are things that I am categorically self-taught in. But for playing the guitar, I mean, that is something I already knew I wasn't self-taught at. But even for classical guitar, let's be real. I took some lessons from JC Practices. I received a couple of lesson-like things from Sore Hands, and I got all of this really amazing feedback from people online. It feels like a total disservice to somehow claim that I'm self-taught at classical guitar and not acknowledge those things. As much as I want to be a self-taught legend, I guess I'm just not on that level. I think the reason why sometimes it felt appropriate is because over the last year, I've had several long stretches of not having the guidance of a teaching presence or even a community, and like not playing much classical guitar at all because my life has been really crazy and busy and hard in some ways. I guess I was just trying to explain away some of the lack of progress and lack of practice by saying that I'm still kind of self-taught. But I think given all the advice I've gotten on the internet, at the very least, I am internet taught. But to be honest, after those lessons with John Crossley, the advice from Sore Hands and some other teacher folk online that truthfully were so impactful, I think I'm just straight up taught. I don't know. We'll see what the title for the big 1 year video is, whether it includes self-taught or not. And I figured I only had a few more chances to try to get some feedback on my classical playing before that happens. So if you're here right now and you are just cheering me on, thanks. If you're here and you can give me some feedback, I'd really appreciate it. I'm going to play this at like maybe 60-75% speed and just talk to you about some of the things that are giving me problems and some of the things that I've been making progress on. Let's hop to the couch. Okay, pretty dang sloppy, but I mainly just wanted to share some of the playing vibes that I'm having. When I've warmed up and when I don't feel so nervous, I can play it decently faster than that and cleaner, but that's also not the point of performance really, I guess, right? Like performance obviously makes it harder. I think some of the things that have really improved for me over the last 6 months, despite the spotty practice, is the way that my right hand is playing the strings has been sort of steadily improving and becoming more fluid, and becoming less like plucking and more like this type of motion, you know? I also think the precision with the left hand has slowly been improving as well. You know, that comes from just hammering the same piece over and over again. But I also think it comes from getting used to this classical position, which I'm still working on. I really feel like the speed of the tremolo sometimes when I'm like by myself and I've been drilling it for a bit is quite decent, which I'm pleased about, because maybe that's the most fun part, is just like ripping through the tremolos. I also have really come to realize how helpful it is to have some type of sleeve on your right arm so that you can sort of make these minor micro adjustments. These shifts do a lot, especially in the first section, and then moving into the second section, there's this sort of like micro shift forward that helps a lot. That's something I got from JC Practices and his teacher. But some of the things that are still really difficult for me, I mean, the number one thing I have to say is the stance, the position. The most comfortable one for me is on the couch here, with my left leg functioning as, you know, where the guitar is resting, and my right leg kind of splayed out in this direction. I don't know how well you can see it, but it's kind of like this. It still doesn't feel that comfortable, I have to say. Like it's better than most of the positions I've sort of played around with, but I don't know, I still get tired, I feel like, after 15-20 minutes, and my left shoulder also doesn't always feel like, I kind of wish it was more in here. Or I honestly find that it's most comfortable for me almost in this type of position. It's like more flamenco-y, I think, but I don't know. The position I could really use some advice on. I also think another piece of advice I need is probably just play it with a metronome, because the consistency of my speed is still all over the place. And depending on which section I'm in, I'm much more comfortable. So probably drilling the weaker sections as well. That Mujo metronome is just waiting for me to use it yet again. I don't know. I'm honestly really excited to try this like slightly smaller guitar that is being gifted to me. It's also going to be a more expensive classical guitar, so I'm pretty interested to see how it feels and plays differently. But the size, I just feel like, I don't know, there's something about the classical guitar in this position that just feels like I'm having to come all the way too far over here, you know? And I mean, when I'm in this position here, it feels like maybe I'm just more used to it from playing like this style for so long. But I don't know, y'all. The position, that's really where I could use some tips. I don't feel like having to sit on this couch every time I perform is really the answer. But that's what I'm going to do for now, I guess. Yeah, so I'm going to spend the next several weeks trying to polish that up as much as I can. And once the new guitar has arrived, I'm going to take a week to get used to it. And then I'm just going to take a whole day where I dive into the last year of learning classical guitar and try like 30 takes of Carcassi 7 and pick the best one and share it with y'all. So thank you so freaking much if you made it this far in the video. It really means a lot to me, I have to say. Shout out to the day ones. Shout out to the new folks. So much love and musical vibes to y'all. Hang in there. No matter what is going on in your life, whether it is soaring high or in a bit of a low period. I know I've been through lots of both of those over the last year. So thanks for hanging in there with me. I got lots of plans for classical and otherwise for this channel. Thanks for being here. Cheers. See you soon.